One of the most mysterious moments in gaming entertainment was just rekindled over the weekend, 4 years since originally making headlines that fascinated and confused people. Why was Dr. Disrespect suddenly banned from streaming on Twitch? Now, before we get any further, we have to get some quick stuff out of the way. First of all, this story involves alleged communication with minors, so just be prepared for that. Not an easy subject to talk about. Also, according to his team's track record and just the vibe that we're getting from journalists and commentators online, Dr. Disrespect, as a brand, very litigious. So we are going to tread a little lightly here and try our best to provide you with the facts and developments of the situation without intentionally drifting off into reactions or any speculation.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna write now, allegedly. So you can take that clip anytime one of us says something that might be legally, unsteady ground. You can take that clip of me saying, allegedly, and just splice it in there so we're clear about that.
I tried to be as watertight as possible with the script, but anyways, we cool, good. Links to sources always down in the description below, and there are a lot of them on this story. So okay, now it's time to attempt a brief summary into what led us to this past weekend.
So as many of you are probably aware, one of the biggest scandals in the history of streaming, content creation, or gaming, however you want to categorize it, all went down 4 years ago, almost to the exact day, when Guy Beam, aka Dr. Disrespect, who was at the time one of the biggest streamers of any platform, was inexplicably banned from Twitch, despite having recently signed a multi-year, multi-million-dollar contract with the company, amidst a streaming platform war that involves competitors like YouTube and Mixer. Remember that one?
And also, to a lesser extent, Facebook.gg or something. There was a Facebook gaming thing.
There was that thing.
Yeah.
So after the ban was handed down, the internet was absolutely chaotic with speculation and rumors as to why Twitch would suddenly ban someone they had just poured millions of dollars into just a few weeks prior. One of the prevailing rumors at the time was that Beam had leveraged a non-existent deal with Microsoft's Mixer in order to squeeze a significant amount of money out of Twitch, and that when it had come to light that actually Mixer was closing down and not offering any deals, Twitch decided to ban him from the platform, like out of spite or something. That was one theory.
Yeah, there were plenty of other rumors, some of potential sexual impropriety. Beam did have a very public scandal involving infidelity within his marriage, so people naturally assumed that some new scandal behind the scenes was playing out, one that was significant enough to alter major business deals. And that was another theory. Now, at the time, Twitch's official statement was intentionally vague, simply saying, "As is our process, we take appropriate action when we have evidence that a streamer has acted in violation of our community guidelines or terms of service. These apply to all streamers regardless of status or prominence in the community." Now just a vague statement from the platform, no solid leaks from insiders, and no admission of wrongdoing from Beam himself, the internet was left to fill in the blanks with endless speculation fueled even further by the fact that a significant portion of the world was still in COVID lockdown with plenty of time on their hands.
Yeah, and nothing else to think about other than speculate on why Dr. Disrespect had been banned.
At one point, people were pretty convinced that it had something to do with Beam promoting some kind of 5G signal blocking rocks, and also just general conspiracy peddling.
So further fanning the flames were the reactions from gaming journalists at the time who seemed to have insider knowledge that they weren't allowed to share because of potential legal issues. Most notably, Slasher, who had built up a very credible reputation for himself at that point. He famously tweeted, "For several hours now, I have been told from credible sources the reason Dr. Disrespect has been banned. However, due to the importance and sensitivity around the subject, I have refrained from going on it. I don't feel comfortable with it currently." And this statement clearly frames the situation as something more than just a contract dispute or Twitch getting angry because Dr. Disrespect was telling kids about conspiracy theories. He must have done something real bad.
Yeah.
So the mystery continued, and the only significant updates that the world received in the months following his ban came from Dr. Disrespect himself, indicating that he and his team were filing a lawsuit against Twitch after privately learning the reason for his ban.
Nearly 2 years after his Twitch ban, Dr. Disrespect settled his lawsuit with the Amazon-owned company and announced the settlement in yet another intentionally vague post, saying, "I have resolved my legal dispute with Twitch. No party admits to any wrongdoing." Many took this post as complete exoneration, despite the statement being deliberately opaque.
Dr. Disrespect did nothing wrong.
Either way, the saga seemed like it was over. even though the mystery surrounding his ban would continue. Why, exactly, did Twitch burn millions of dollars, ban one of their largest streamers, never directly address the situation, and then settle a lawsuit with the guy that they banned? Now, for most, this all faded into the backs of everyone's minds because it seemed settled. Both parties were moving on, but that all changed on Friday of last week when a former Twitch employee and an account director for strategic partnerships named Cody Connors just tweeted it out, saying bluntly,
he got banned because got caught texting a minor in the then existing Twitch Whispers product. He was trying to meet up with her at TwitchCon. The powers that be could read in plain text. Case closed, gang. And despite not directly calling him out by name, everyone immediately knew who he was talking about. This claim was then seemingly confirmed by a bunch of journalists who had been researching the story since the beginning, even though they either didn't get further than what appeared to be secondhand information or didn't feel comfortable running a story so significant without making sure that every aspect was watertight, which was essentially impossible at the time because of the severity of those claims, contracts, company NDAs, and just legal issues.
But here was a Twitch employee tweeting out the reason and putting a target on himself from an online mob in the process. Now, a few things. It has been pointed out that Connors was teasing information based on promotion for selling tickets to his band's shows.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Still, I'm not entirely sure why that would cause him to tweet something that wasn't accurate based on his internal knowledge of the situation.
Anyway, as for why a bunch of journalists all seemed to agree that they'd heard similar stories during their research, including Slasher himself, who tweeted, "I didn't lie."
Yeah.
Washington Post editor and journalist Mikhail Klementov posted a reaction to this development in his newsletter and tried to answer the question, why hasn't the press broken the Dr. Disrespect ban story? Now, here's some of the quotes that address this directly, and much like we said at the top of this episode, Klementov makes sure to add that, for the purposes of this newsletter, I'm treating every rumor, implied connection, allegation as just that, rumored, implied, and alleged.
The responses from journalists, industry insiders, and gadflies also seem to suggest that behind the scenes, some kind of alleged impropriety relating to a minor had been the going theory for some time. I can say that this is not the first time I have heard basically this explanation, nor is it the second or third, tweeted my former launcher colleague Nathan Grayson. Now, the public knows what some journalists have discussed amongst themselves in private gatherings, via DM, and in newsroom meetings with editors, who invariably said that the evidentiary bar for publication had not been met. In the aftermath of Connor's tweet, some users have asked rightly, why does it seem like everyone knew? Why didn't anyone say anything? The truth is that inasmuch as it may seem that the story has advanced, we're really still on square one. There's a reason what we think we know came in the form of a vague post. Every journalist wants to be the one to nail this story if it's true, but not a single one has gathered the requisite sourcing to make it happen. What does that mean? For a story like this to feel airtight, a journalist would want to talk to multiple sources with direct insight into what happened when Beam was banned. It's likely, however, that the group that made Twitch's decision regarding Beam was small and tight-knit. People in those positions often don't see any upside in speaking with press, and indeed, fear the risks, professional blowback, legal issues, etc. that come with revealing internal secrets. Journalists who say they knew or heard something in the aftermath of a big public revelation or accusation aren't showing off. If anything, their knowing should be treated as a statement of humility, even if it doesn't look like one at first blush. I couldn't get this, they're saying. I was working on it, but I couldn't get it over the line.
Yeah, and that's journalism.
Yeah.
You can't just report on rumors. You need to back it up with something, and no one could get enough evidence, enough independent sourcing to actually report on it. So this, again, it's why you're not currently seeing lengthy articles about what exactly happened, because, yeah, it's not like this tweet went out and the floodgates of files, logs, legal documents, reports, screenshots, etc. broke open, releasing a deluge of new information to the press.
That didn't happen. It's just a Twitch employee saying what they saw working there. Yeah.
So, yeah, and it's a press that has been kneecapped in the past couple of years anyway, through downsizing as well as mergers and acquisitions. It's still just a tweet, but it seems to allegedly confirm what a lot of reputable people claimed to have dug up, allegedly. For his part, Beam responded to these accusations in arguably the worst phrasing possible, responding to a tweet from Jake Lucky and saying that no wrongdoing was acknowledged.
Okay.
And that Twitch paid out the whole contract.
Yeah, no wrongdoing was acknowledged is certainly a weird way to respond to that.
Yeah. A few hours later, he posted directly to the Dr. Disrespect account a bit more clearly, saying, listen, I'm obviously tied to legal obligations from the settlement with Twitch, but I just need to say what I can say since this is the fucking internet. I didn't do anything wrong. All this has been probed and settled. Nothing illegal. No wrongdoing was found. And I was paid.
So yeah, this is where things get even murkier, because as predicted by that journalist from the Washington Post, this accusation did kick up a bunch of interest from various outlets who at least tried to revisit other sources for some shred of confirmation. And there are two things in particular that seem to support the claims posted by Connors. First, an article from The Verge where the author spoke directly to another Twitch employee for their reporting. 4 years after Beam's permanent ban, 2 former Twitch employees have come forward to describe events they say contributed to his removal from the platform. One former Twitch employee, who asked to remain anonymous citing the potential risk to their career, told The Verge that Beam had used Whispers, Twitch's now defunct messaging system, to exchange messages with a minor and initiate a conversation about meeting up at TwitchCon. The employee worked on Twitch's trust and safety team at the time of the ban in 2020.
Their reporting adds that the former employee who spoke with The Verge also shared more insight into the order of events that led to the ban. They said there was a significant amount of time between when the messages between Beam and the alleged victim were sent and when the moderation report about those messages was filed, but they weren't able to recall how much time. When Twitch received the report in 2020, they said that Twitch investigated the claims and ultimately banned Beam's channel. So there you go. Now you got more Twitch employees corroborating the claim and providing more details and context related to it, though they did ask to remain anonymous, which is understandable considering the reactions of fans, not to mention their own job security.
Yeah.
Still, it continues the never-ending problem with this story, which is that people want to see proof, and it's looking like that is not possible. Especially because, as a diversion from the story at hand, Twitch withholding this information from law enforcement would not only make them look real fucking bad, we'd imagine there could be legal ramifications for that too.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We don't know. We're working with the same info as everyone else here, and it is not a lot of info.
No. The second bit of information that seems to corroborate the claims are that in the wake of this new information, Dr. Disrespect has been, as they put it, terminated or dropped from his own game development studio, which is a move that seems very improbable unless there was something going on.
Yeah, so this definitely pushes it. Now this is fucking newsworthy.
Yeah, so on their official Twitter account, the game studio posted the following. On Friday evening, we became aware of an allegation against one of our co-founders, Guy Beam, aka Dr. Disrespect. We assumed his innocence and began speaking with parties involved. And in order to maintain our principles and standards as a studio and individuals, we needed to act. For this reason, we are terminating our relationship with Guy Beam immediately. While these facts are difficult to hear and even more difficult to accept, it is our duty to act with dignity on behalf of all individuals involved, especially the 55 developers and families we have employed along with our community of players.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, seems like something they wouldn't do unless they felt pretty strongly about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, for their part, Connors is saying that he's the least sued he's ever been, and seems to allude to the fact that some form of evidence is circling between journalists. While Beam went ahead with a stream on Monday, despite ending it by saying that he's going on vacation and he's because of burnout, and was also voluntarily leaving his game studio, which doesn't really mesh with the game studio's statement on the subject because they bluntly state that they are terminating the relationship immediately. Anyway, regardless, we're kind of in the exact same spot as we were 4 years ago. And despite the journalists, Twitch employees, and now members of his own studio all alluding to something incredibly damning, it's not going to be a closed case until someone puts their name and their outlet on the line by providing legitimate proof for the world to see, which might take days, weeks, months, years, or just could never happen at all.
Yeah, that's also an option. I mean, Doc is also in the same position because anyone who was watching him up until this point is probably just going to dig their heels in deeper, which definitely seems to be the case based on replies to any mention of him on social media.
Well, yeah, these kids have grown up. He's their babysitter.
Yeah.
He spent every day with them for 8 hours.
And I'm sure
raising
there's
them.
comments down in our comment section of this video as well. Hopefully we were able to at least provide context and a somewhat comprehensive look at everything that has played out.
Allegedly.
But we're just going off of what's already been made public. So don't shoot the messengers. Anyways.
Yeah, it's also I just, obviously if bad things happen, that's bad. But not really invested in this story all that much on a personal level.
It's a streamer.
It's a streamer for, again, children. So,
but yes, let's switch the goddamn subject.
please.
So the
change
entire
the channel.
video isn't about this shit. Let's talk about some other shit instead. Literal shit. And people using it as a form of protest. Now, first of all, the poo and trash balloon war between North and South Korea has continued. And North Korea sent some really nasty garbage over the border this past weekend, a dump significant enough that it has once again made international news. With more on this latest trash balloon attack, here's the BBC.
Parasites from human waste and defaced Hello Kitty clothing have been found in bags of rubbish carried by North Korean balloons into South Korea, officials say. More than 1,500 waste-carrying balloons have been released by Pyongyang across the border since May in retaliation for a leaflet campaign sent northwards by opponents of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Analysis of some of the balloon packages detected roundworms, whipworms, and threadworms in the soil. The chance of infection from the parasites in the packages is low, South Korea's Ministry of Unification assured people. Other items carried by the balloons included slashed Western clothes that had been donated from the South, including items featuring Mickey Mouse, Winnie the Pooh, and Hello Kitty characters, according to Reuters news agency. There were also socks, clothes, and heavily patched up children's clothes. The soil was probably infected with the parasites because human feces was used instead of chemical fertilizers in the north, the ministry added. Monday saw another set of balloons sent across the border, with South Korean officials warning people to beware of falling objects.
Just a general caution, don't look up.
Or do look up, and if there's balloons coming, don't get out of the way.
Yeah.
Because there's doo-doo in there. And it's got it's got 3 different types of worms that I don't know if any of those are actual worms. Because like ringworm, you hear about that, you're like, oh, that's
Parasite, right?
Yeah, it's not a worm.
Well, it looks like a worm.
The sore you get sort of does, I guess.
Yeah.
But it ain't no worm.
Well, good luck to everyone in South Korea.
Yeah.
Stay inside, I guess. But in other shit-related news, apparently a bunch of protesters in France have decided to just shit directly into the Seine River as a protest of water contamination from the upcoming Summer Olympic Games in Paris. Not sure it's going to work, but we do love how creative that the French are when it comes to protesting. And going down to the river, taking a nice big shit is, I guess, a good way to bring attention to the water contamination issue because people are definitely talking about it now.
Yeah, and it's a nice throwback.
It's also an issue that has plagued previous Olympic Games because one of the points that they're trying to make is that it is unsafe for athletes who will be apparently swimming in this river.
This is an issue that has affected, I think, every Summer Olympics for like the last decade and a half, is that
our water is too contaminated.
Clean water in urban areas does not exist.
Yes, this is of course reminiscent of the time when athletes got sick from swimming in the water during the Olympic Games in Rio de Janeiro. Because again, that water was contaminated with, among other things, human waste. And back to the most recent protests though. Here's CBS News with the details.
After months of tests showing high levels of bacteria from sewage and wastewater, residents fed up with the river pollution just weeks before Olympic athletes are set to dive in are threatening to stage a mass defecation in protest. A website has appeared using the viral hashtag Je chie dans le Seine le 23 juin, which translates to I shit in the Seine on June 23rd. A Google search for the phrase directs people to the website, represented by a poop emoji on the search engine. The site repeats the phrase and aims a taunt squarely at French President Emmanuel Macron and Paris Mayor Anne Hidalgo, who had both vowed to go for a swim before the games to prove that the Seine is safe.
And he's gonna drink some of the water too. That's what he said, right? Oh, Mr. Macron, make sure you get a sip of that water. Oh, what vintage is that?
Because after putting us in shit, it's up to them to bathe in our shit, the website declares. It also features a calculator that lets users input how far they live from central Paris and then calculates when they would need to defecate in the river for the waste to end up in the heart of the capital at noon on June 23rd.
Now, we haven't seen any reports that the protest was successful in a physical sense, Meaning we haven't seen a mass amount of people just shitting directly into the river or timing their shits so that it floats the right time. I haven't seen reports of people doing it. Maybe there's some on there where one person does it.
Yeah.
I don't know. But as a concept of protest, it worked.
Wonder if anyone threw any Baby Ruth candy bars into the river. So they have to drain the river.
We got to drain it. Got to clean it.
Drain the whole fucking thing. And then they're like, wait.
It's just a delicious candy bar. But yes, as a concept, it worked. It got international attention onto a potential problem that athletes will be facing. And the closest thing we found to an update as of when we filmed this was from France 24, who reported that Olympic organizers are unable to confirm if the river will be swimmable in time for the events. Test results published last Friday showed levels of E. coli,
oh no,
a bacteria indicating fecal matter, were often twice as high as the maximum permitted limit for Olympic swimming during the week of 10 to 16 June. There's no doubt that the water quality is not there yet. The top government official for the Paris region, Marc Guillaume, told reporters while remaining optimistic that dry summer weather would resolve the problem.
How would dry summer weather resolve the problem?
I think he's just saying things.
The sun will sanitize our disgusting river.
Instead of cooking it further. I don't think rain would work either, because with rain you get all of like the wash coming in from streets and everywhere else. So kind of just in a dilly of a pickle here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the latest readings are not in line with the standards we will have in the summer, he added. For the open water swimming, organizers have flexibility in the schedule, enabling them to delay the event several days in the event of a downpour. In the worst case scenario, it would be canceled, and the triathlon would become a duathlon, just running and cycling without the swimming. Paris Mayor Anne Hidalgo, who wants to create public swimming spots in the river next year, last week had to postpone a much publicized dip to demonstrate its cleanliness. Instead, she has promised to take to the water during the week of July 14th.
Good. Look, this is great. If more elected officials were gonna put their safety on the line to back up their claims, because it motivates them to actually fix the problem.
Yeah.
And Paris did, I guess it didn't solve it, but they did pour a ton of money into trying to make this river clean.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know.
And this isn't us like shit talking other countries.
No, this is every urban river.
We're getting the Olympics in a couple of years, and we sat here trying to figure out before we started filming where in LA they could swim that wouldn't be contaminated.
Yeah, LA does not have a year-round river for any sort of swimming event. So all we have is the ocean. The ocean water here is also not good.
Yeah, we have major shipping channels, oil derricks, and our actual big river is, it's getting better, but it's still just a garbage chute for rainwater.
It's not a swimming river.
Yeah.
And in the summer, it's 2 inches deep. So I don't know. And this is every river that goes through a big city, I imagine, would be outside of healthy limits for human consumption.
Yeah, look at when you go to London and look in the water.
The Thames, it's fucking,
just.
It's got opacity to it.
Yeah, you can't really see very far, and by that I mean nothing. If you put your hand just below the water,
cloudy,
it would disappear. And I'm sure that I'm sure they've dragged the river to get stuff out. There's probably dead bodies and shit in there.
Oh yeah, probably some interesting stuff in that river. Probably some real archaeological finds.
On a different topic, I do love whenever Amsterdam pulls out that giant magnet and starts combing their river, because it's just thousands of bicycles.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate magnet fishing.
I'm not sure if Amsterdam can do it, but up in Hamburg, in Germany, which actually has, I think, twice as many canals as Amsterdam, but gets no respect. Doesn't get any of the attention of Amsterdam.
Okay, well.
But they have a lock system in their canals. They can actually drain sections of it to clean it and then fill it back up. The last time I was there, I was like, wait, this part's empty, this part's full. How'd they do that? And they're we're German. We figured it out.
There Elliot goes, talking about the efficiency of Germans once again.
They had a plan.
Shut up.
Yes. They had a solution. Anyway, two brief stories that are definitely important, but that broke right before we were set to film. Thanks, news. So maybe if there are more developments, we'll go further in depth later in the week. But here you go, since, this is big news.
Yeah.
First off, Julian Assange is now, reportedly, a free man after sitting in an Ecuadorian embassy in England for the last 7 years. Here's the Associated Press. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange will plead guilty to a felony charge in a deal with the U.S. Justice Department that will allow him to walk free and resolve a long-running legal saga that spanned multiple continents and centered on the publication of a trove of classified documents. Assange left a British prison on Monday and will appear later this week in the U.S. federal court in the Northern Mariana Islands, a U.S. Commonwealth in the Western Pacific. He's expected to plead guilty to an Espionage Act charge of conspiring to unlawfully obtain and disseminate classified national defense information, the Justice Department said in a letter filed in court. The guilty plea, which must be approved by a judge, brings an abrupt conclusion to a criminal case of international intrigue and to the U.S.'s years-long pursuit. I wonder why he's doing it in the Mariana Islands. That's an interesting detail. Like, he's going to the U.S. technically, but like going to a very remote territorial section of it.
I don't know. I think the most simple explanation would be that it's maybe closer to Australia, which was where he's going immediately after.
Oh yeah, that could be it.
So could be as simple as that. Could be something even more diabolical. We don't know.
Yeah. In any case,
they got him on a Boeing plane, and buddy,
Oh, no.
slap. These planes have a great track record.
But yeah, this is good news. I mean, as much as like Assange himself is like a shithead who's like very difficult to sympathize with on a personal level, the shit he's gone through like legally has been such fucking bullshit.
And this was important information for the most part. There was definitely some stuff that was
especially
seemed a bit odd and
the early WikiLeaks stuff
Yes.
was very much in the public interest, and I would say in a lot of ways like shifted public opinion on the Iraq War very significantly because this was information that was being withheld from the public.
Yeah.
The stuff later on with like the 2016 election, like I'm like, okay, buddy.
Yeah.
There was some value in it, but a lot of it was just
one of the
creating drama.
One of the best things you could possibly read on the subject for all of the insider information is Chelsea Manning's book. I think it's readme.txt. It's the entire story as played out. So it's a fascinating read. Check that out. But in other significant news, it appears as though Alex Jones' InfoWars, despite the recent news that it wasn't going to shut down, is actually shutting down for good. And that is, again, as recently as last week, it was told that it would live on after Jones's assets were liquidated in order to pay the settlements with the parents of the victims of Sandy Hook. So what changed? Well, here's CNN. Conspiracy theorist Alex Jones's InfoWars media empire will be shut down and sold off, a bankruptcy court-appointed trustee said in an emergency court filing Sunday, signaling the end of the notorious far-right outlet that Jones has used to spread dangerous misinformation and lies. The trustee wrote on Sunday that since being appointed, he began planning to wind up Free Speech Systems operations and liquidate its inventory. But the trustee said the process was derailed when one of the Sandy Hook victims' parents filed a motion in a Texas district court to be granted custody of all of Free Speech Systems' assets, including InfoWars. As a result, Jones's trustee asked the bankruptcy judge for an emergency stay in the case to allow them to conduct an orderly wind down and sale process of InfoWars. Jones, who had earlier this month celebrated the judge's ruling not to liquidate InfoWars' parent company, has acknowledged InfoWars would likely only continue broadcasting for a few more months. Quote, "I'm going to try to move forward and maximize the amount of money we can make at InfoWars to then have a wind down," Jones said outside the courthouse after the hearing dismissing his company's liquidation.
I'm going to have to sell a whole fucking shitload of Brain Force X.
Yeah. Empty those wallets, folks.
I mean, probably a great time a real fire sale for nootropic supplements and water filters. If you've been thinking about buying some Brain Force, this is probably the best time to do so. They need to sell this shit.
Counterpoint, don't do that because, well, I guess the money is going to the Sandy Hook parents, so I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also, it's not like Alex Jones making these products. These are just like white labeled shit from probably sketchy supplement companies.
Sure.
But, if anyone had died from taking Brain Force X, you would have heard it by now.
Yeah, I think the whole thing is that it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, and you can never have too many water filters.
Yeah.
Finally today, though.
Tell that to the people in France.
Yeah, maybe the news can really come together. Alex Jones has a warehouse full of water filters. France has a river full of shit. Guys, let's make a deal.
Yeah.
But finally today, in a continuation of our What the Fuck is Trump Talking About series that will never end,
Yeah.
he had another one. He had another weekend filled with incoherent, rambling, gaffes, and truly insane rhetoric. But one quote definitely stood out among the rest for being some real, literal psycho shit.
Yeah.
As Trump claimed to have spoken with UFC CEO and President Dana White about starting up a migrant fight league.
No.
Where migrants would fight each other and then get the honor of fighting someone from the UFC. And can you guess what the reward would be for winning?
You get welcome to the country. That we're doing literally a fucking what is essentially a fight to the death because you're losing your chance at freedom. It's fucking nuts. It is the fact that a presidential candidate went on stage at a rally this weekend and just said this is crazy.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past Dana White to, because like Republicans,
it's a farm program.
So Republicans like they really don't like the different visas and green card programs that bring in like foreign professional workers. Like they've been slashing those over the years. If Dana White can get Trump to create an entirely new visa system specifically for MMA fighters, that would be funny. Because I'm sure, like, he's like, yeah, there's a lot of fighters around the world I want to come fight in Las Vegas, but like getting them here, it's so hard. Trump, give them a green card.
Damn.
And then Trump hears that and he's like, you're right, Dana, we should have a migrant fight league. Anyway, this might be one of Trump's most depraved ideas yet. It is truly unbelievable. Also unbelievable is Trump claiming that Dana White called him the toughest person ever. That didn't happen. Anyway, here's the clip.
I told Dana White of UFC, I said, here's what we're going to do. You know, these are tough cookies coming into our country, coming with prisons and mental institutions. I said to Dana White, UFC, he's got a big fight going on right now. He's a good friend of mine. You know what he said the other day? They said, who's the toughest person you've ever met? He said, definitely Donald Trump. He said, Donald Trump. How about that? But I said, Dana, I have an idea for you to make a lot of money. You're going to go and start a new migrant fight league. Migrants, only migrants. And then at the end of the year, the champion migrant is going to fight your champion. And I hate to tell you, Dana, I think the migrant might win. That's how tough they are.
All right, well, now that your day or night or morning or whatever's ruined, please like the video. Thank you. If you click the like button, it really does help us out. It actually helps the channel grow. It gets us into that sweet, sweet algorithmic rhythm.
And you know what? We're going to bring back bum fights. There's a lot of homelessness on the streets of this country. Los Angeles is disgusting. We make the bums fight each other, and whoever wins, they get an apartment.
And the loser gets a tattoo.
The loser gets
on his
shipped
face.
off to the desert.
I literally would not put it past him. It's almost the same kind of pitch.
Yeah.
So now that your day's ruined, please like the video. It does help us grow. We really appreciate it. Also, sub, because we have a goal. We're getting really close to that goal. And no sponsor today, so if you want to be the sponsor, please click the join button. We would really appreciate it. I actually like doing videos more without sponsors because it's extra editing. So more of you joining would be a bonus to everything because no sponsors this entire week. So thank you. In the meantime, until our next video, which will be Tech News Day, please watch our previous videos.
Our most previous 2 episodes.
That is...
No episode. We don't have any 2 episodes more previous than these ones.
One is Weekly Weird, and one is News Dump. And both are about Republicans being bad.
Yeah.
So check those out, and we will see you soon for some tech news.
Bye-bye.
Bye.